That's a horrible ICP, and it's something you see all the time, right? Now, if you said we're building something for US-based SaaS companies who have 100 or 500 employees and are struggling to manage the growing number of devices on their corporate network, okay, now we're talking, right? That is a hyper-specific ICP. And the reason for this is if you're going to build a consistent sales motion where you have a repeatable sales process, you know what questions to ask in discovery, you know the pain points your customers have. The only way to do that is to target a very specific customer who's likely to have a very specific similar set of problems that they're going through over and over again. And so once you get specific, your process becomes repeatable because all of these folks that meet these same criteria are likely to have the same set of problems. And so your pitch becomes really honed because you're just going through the same list of questions over and over again. So the benefits, right, of narrowing this who, as I was kind of alluding to, but customers want to feel heard, right? They want to feel like whoever is selling to them understands them, right? I think that's incredibly important. They want to know that, hey, this guy I'm talking to understands my business, right? And the first way to get there is to talk to a similar type of business over and over and over again, right? People want to work with someone who knows what it's like to walk a mile in their shoes, right? Also, right, you're like me, you're a team of one, right? So you have to build a process that's scalable and repeatable. And you can't be trying to sell to 5 different ICPs that have wildly different needs and have, wildly different value prop for what you're doing. You have to be narrow and deep. It's the only way to build something repeatable when you're, one-man operation. And kind of similarly, right, people buy from people they trust. And if you're able to speak to them in their language, you're going to build trust that way, right? And I think that's a huge benefit of really getting specific about who you sell to. And then, honestly, the network effect of if you have a very specific ICP in a specific industry, those people talk to each other, right? They go to the same networking events, right? They're in, mastermind groups, whatever. But you're going to start to be able to repeat that process because, if you can solve the problems of a very specific customer when their friend has that problem, they're going to say, hey, you should talk to Wade, right? I mean, I try to use real life examples as much as possible.